Have you ever wanted to build your own custom guitar but you didn't know where to start? Let's do it together and let me show you. So let's go with the easiest guitar to assemble, a Telecaster parts caster. Why? Because it's a simple guitar. You have a bolt-on neck, tuners, a plank body, 2 pickups, and 3-way selector. And that's the core of the guitar. So let's start with the neck. It's the most important part to me. It's what you're gonna be holding and feeling with your hands all the time. So remember to pick what feels best to you, not what somebody recommends. So I've teamed up with Sweetwater and they've sent me the neck and the tuners and we're gonna put that together. We've got a Fender road-worn 50s Telecaster neck and road-worn tuners. So it's a distressed nitro finished U-shaped neck and it feels like it's been played for years. If that appeals to you, go for that one. So this is a brand new neck, and the first thing you want to do when you get a brand new neck is take a Fretrocker and check that your frets are level. So you're gonna stick it on 3 frets at a time, rock it back and forth, and see if any of the frets are sticking up a little bit. We're all good. Okay, and now we've got the body. And this is a Fender Vintera 60s Telecaster body in lake placid blue. I picked up this body online a few years ago and I've wanted to use it in a project like this. So let's take the neck and the body and put it together. So I also need a neck plate and 4 screws. Even though they call it a bolt-on, it's 4 screws. And I'll list everything in the description so you can see exactly what I'm using. So what am I using for tools in this project? Let's take a look. Okay, we've got the main part of the guitar together, and let's start adding some of the hardware. So we'll be putting a strap button on each end, just like this. And for the output jack, I've got something called an Electrosocket jack. It installs with 2 screws versus the traditional Fender cup shape. So we'll put that on for now, even though we have to install the wiring later. Now let's put on the tuners. Right, next we're on to the pickups. So first we'll take the bridge. The bridge pickup installs right in the plate, and then you have 4 screws that attach into the body. And then we got the neck pickup, and that installs into the pickguard. And that's got 2 screws that install in the pickguard, so we'll put that in. Okay, and now for the wiring, I've also teamed up with Obsidianwire, and they've sent me one of their Telecaster solderless wiring kits. So no soldering in this project at all. It makes it super clean and fast and really easy for anybody. So let's get that installed right now. Okay, we're almost done installing everything. Last step, we're gonna put the strings on. I've also partnered up with Stringjoy and they've provided the strings. In this case, we're using 9 to 42. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I've got these Japanese steel nut files, and the nut comes pre-slotted, but you actually have to cut it out a bit more. So I'm just cutting in a little bit so I can get the strings in, and then we'll fine tune it a bit later. Okay, so we're using a MusicNomad guitar setup kit, and they make it really simple. If you've never done this before, I recommend using this. I've done setups in the past a little bit differently, but they have all the tools in here, and they have a step-by-step guide. So we're gonna go through all the steps, get the guitar set up, and then we're gonna hear it. All right, first step, we gotta check if we need to adjust the neck at all. So this is checking the truss rod gauge, or this is how to use a truss rod gauge. And it's a bit different than I'm used to, but you're taking this pick and you're sticking it in the strings, and you've got this gauge to measure, and you hold down at the 12th fret, and then you feel at the 6th fret, and you see how much space, or if you don't have space, and that determines if you need to adjust it or not. I was good in my case, so onto the string action gauge, and this is gonna show you how much action you have on your strings. So I'm taking a look here. I like not high action, I don't like super low action, I kind of like medium in between. So you take your string and you measure it here, and then when you determine what you want to do, you adjust the saddles on the bridge. So you're going to go up to raise the action or lower them by turning it the opposite way. Now you take a radius gauge to adjust the other strings so they match the two outer strings. So I'm a 7.25, I've got my action set, so the other 4 strings in the middle, you're just gonna adjust the other saddles so the other strings match the radius. And now one of the most important parts to a good setup is cutting the nut. I talked about doing it earlier, and now we're fine tuning it. So we're taking this gauge and we're checking how much relief there is on the 1st fret and each string. And then you'll cut away as you need. Okay, and now intonation. Does the guitar stay in tune all the way up the guitar? And basically you're adjusting the bridge saddle screws on the back so you can give it more tension or less tension, and then you're checking at the 12th fret to see if the string is in tune with the open plucked string. So this is the last step. Sometimes you need to go back and do some fine adjustments and see what works for you. Okay, here's the finished guitar. Let's get it on my weight scale. And I was super happy to see this, 7.3 pounds. That's amazing. That's totally awesome. Okay, and we're gonna be playing it through a Fender Princeton that's got a 12-inch Alnico Blue speaker, and I'm miking it with a Royer R10. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video and share it with your friends if you found this useful. Enjoy the tones. And as always, play guitar and have fun.